fellow artists, welcome back to the workshop today. Today we're having a short session, folks, because at 5 o'clock, King Dolphin TV, during his live stream, has something very special going on. So we're just gonna jump right into the tasks I need to complete in here for today. And what are those tasks? Well, if you remember, we applied one coat of glaze onto these perfectly cylindrical terracotta slides made by my buddy Jeff Patterson. His link to his channel is in the video description box. And so what we're going to do today is apply a second coat, and then we have to let these guys continue to dry overnight. And then the next time we're in the workshop, we can fire them up in the FuseWorks craft kiln. All right. I do have an alarm on my phone to let me know when we hit 5 o'clock, so that I can redirect all of us to go to King Dolphin TV's stream, because he's unboxing something very special today on the live stream, folks. You're not going to want to miss it. And so, we're gonna get the second coat done, and if we have time, we're gonna work. First of all, I gotta check to see if the clay I rehydrated is malleable. Let's check that out right now, because if it's not malleable, we can't work with it. Okay. It's still a bit watery. I think it may need, I think we need to let this evaporate a little more. So I'm just gonna leave the tub open to the air so more of this water evaporates, so that we have some malleable terracotta to work with, because we're gonna use this to make small hand-shaped slides. We're also going to use this to make a template for glass slumping some tuner keys. We're also going to make tuner keys with this. So, but this needs to evaporate a little bit more. Let me see if we got, yeah. So we're going to continue to let this evaporate. We probably won't get to this today. It needs more time. All right. Okay, so let's get working on what we can do today with the time that we have. Let's get back to slide glazing. Again, I'm going to leave this a little bit open. Well, I'm gonna leave this partially covered so that more water can evaporate, so that we can start working with this terracotta later on in the week. All right, here we go. I'm gonna bring you guys. All right, and I'm gonna get rid of the scrolling text in the bottom, because I think we've had enough of that. All right. Bloop. Oh, but I didn't want to remove the Ko-Fi. There we go. There we go. Now we're ready. Let's do our second coat of glaze. All right, so here's my rehydrated, non-toxic Amico LG series glaze. Man, and it's so hot in here, I had to take off my sandals. It's too much for me, folks. When it's this hot, I can barely tolerate shoes. So, all right, let's get this second coat going. I think we have enough for a second coat. I do believe. All right. I'm not sure what to think about this crackle on the glaze. Is that going to affect the smoothness of our slide after it's fired? I don't know. We shall find out, folks. Again, I'm learning to work with rehydrated glaze. And so, just learning as I go here. Let's go. All right. Next week, we will also begin working on Wendy, the Trauma Warrior cigar box guitar. We'll be doing some laser engraving, folks, so please do come back for that. You know that we have fun with our laser engraving adventures here in the workshop. All right. Second coat. Yeah, I don't know what to think about this crackle. What is going to happen with that crackle when we fire this up in the kiln? I don't know. I don't know. Because on our victory slide, we didn't get any crackling on the glaze, so not sure what's gonna happen with that crackle once it hits the kiln. We live and we learn, folks. Live and we learn. We make and we learn. We do and we learn. Coat number 2. And again, I feel comfortable getting this glaze on my hands because it is non-toxic. No lead in this glaze. So, just FYI, folks, no lead in this glaze. I did buy a non-toxic glaze because I know how I like to work, and I definitely don't want any toxic things on my hands. So, by the way, I do have this glaze linked in the video description box of my my tutorial on how to make terracotta slides with the Fuseworks craft kiln. So if you're looking for a non-toxic lead-free glaze, you know, I have a link in there for you. But anyways, that's why I feel safe getting the glaze on my hand, because it is non-toxic. All right, let's get coat number 2. second coat on this slide. Alrighty, so, man, the heat in here today is hardcore. Whoa. Actually, I should point the swamp cooler at me, shouldn't I? I'm gonna do that right now. Tap, 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 tap. All right. Second coat on this slide. Pointing the swamp cooler at me this time. Oh, that feels much better. Goodness gracious. A lot of crackling on the dry glaze on this slide. Again, how is this going to affect the firing or the finish of the slide? I don't know. We shall find out. This did not happen with my victory slide, so will we have another thing to troubleshoot? Will we get a working slide after this is fired? I don't know, but we're gonna apply a second coat. We're gonna apply a second coat regardless. Maybe that will mitigate the crackling issue here. So. Oh, wait. Little bit of a pinhole there. Got to get that covered. Maybe I'm not leaving the slides in long enough. When I dip them in the glaze, maybe that's the issue. Okay, next. Okay, this one doesn't have any crackling, so I know that this one is not going to have any issues when fired. It's the other ones that are crackled that I'm worried about. I think I'm going to go back on the slides that don't exactly get covered all the way to the bottom and kind of finger paint in. Yeah, I think I'm going to finger paint the terracotta that peeks out from the bottom. I mean, when I put this in the kiln, some of this will run down and cover the bottom, but I want to make sure that we get, so I'm going to do a little bit of finger painting here to just grab the bottom part of the slide. And again, folks, if you're just tuning in, I can do this because I'm using a glaze that's non-toxic, no lead. All right, just an FYI. I ordered non-toxic glaze from the very beginning because I knew I would be doing this sort of thing. Alright. Non-toxic glaze. It's okay to get it on your hands. Lead-free. All right. So we still got some free terracotta for this thing to stand on in the kiln. I will still have to do some sanding after it comes out of the Fuseworks craft kiln because I use kiln paper to protect the kiln shelf. And that's kind of made of a fiberglass material, but you know, you can sand it off at the end of the, after the firing process and the kiln has cooled down, so. All right. I'm just taking care of those bottom gaps with my hand, and again, for those of you who just are tuning in, I can do this because the glaze that I'm using is non-toxic, lead-free, so I can get it on my hands. Don't do this with glaze that is not lead-free or non-toxic. Okay? Just an FYI. Okay. I wonder why some crackled and some didn't. That is what I'm wondering. Why did some crackle during the drying process and some didn't? Great question. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So why did this one crackle and this one didn't? Why? Why? That's something I gotta look up. And again, Victory Slide did not crackle. So I'm hoping that this crackling is not gonna affect the final firing. That it isn't gonna affect the smoothness of the slide after it's fired. So we shall see. And again, anyone just popping in, Seeing me hand paint with glaze. It's non-toxic, lead-free glaze. Gotta keep saying that. Okay. This one's crackled, but not to the extent of others. It's a little smoother than the other ones. And I'm not too worried about getting glaze on the bottom of the slide where it's going to be standing up on the kiln, because I have to sand the end product anyways, because I am using kiln paper to protect the kiln shelf. So I'm not too worried about that. A little bit on the bottom there. Non-toxic glaze. I'm gonna keep saying that, very important. That's why I can do that. This one's very crackled. Very, very crackled. Let's give it a second coat. Second coat. Hey Wendy, welcome, welcome. Just applying some second coat to these slides. With some non-toxic rehydrated glaze. That's why I can finger paint. I think I should just have a rolling text on the bottom that says, I can hand paint the glaze because it's non-toxic, lead-free. Important. How are you doing today, Wendy? Am I gonna see you later on King Dolphin's live stream? I have an alarm set for it and I'll be rating it. This one has no crackle. It'll be interesting to see. I should have separated here on my desk. I should have separated the ones that crackled and the ones that didn't, so that I can compare the final product. In fact, I might just do that. Oh no, look at this. Look at this. Some of the crackled ones aren't taking the glaze. I'm gonna set this aside. I see another one that's chipping. Wendy says, I can't stay long, but leaving a like. King Dolphin TV starts in 20 minutes and I'm his Saturday co-host. Yeah, I'm gonna be there too, Wendy. I have an alarm set and I'll be rating his live stream. But hey, I'll be seeing you over at the King Dolphin TV live stream at 5. Oh no, Oh, folks, look. I just applied a second coat to this one that was crackling, and look what's happening. Look what's happening. The glaze on these is not sticking. Okay, I'm gonna set these aside. I'm gonna set these aside. There are two that have chipped. Grrr. Okay. Let me check to see if there are any more that are likely to chip here. All right. This one seems okay. We got this one that's chipped. Another chip. Grr. This one seems okay. This one seems okay. This one, got a chip here. Yeah, I wonder why too. I wonder why the glaze. So it looks like the ones that had crackled, for some reason during the drying process, the ones that crackled, the glaze is not sticking onto the ones that crackled. Too thick and maybe too soon. The master is in the house, folks. Jeffrey Richard Patterson, our master ceramicist, is in the house, and he's telling me the glaze may be too thick, and maybe I'm trying to apply the second coat too soon. So I'm gonna set these chippy ones aside. I'm gonna set these chippy ones aside. This one is on the fence. Let me rub my hands on it and see if we get any chippings. Okay. Okay, this one seems okay. This one took the second coat. Okay. This one doesn't have any cracklings on it, so I'm gonna try to apply a second coat of glaze on this one. Jeff, I still have lots more of this non-toxic glaze to rehydrate it. I'm gonna make it more watery. Jeff says one thing that you are up against is that it is designed brushing glaze. That's interesting, Jeff. Maybe maybe I'll try brushing it on the next time. That could be it too. Although I've gotten a great result from the dipped ones. But maybe since the consistency of the glaze has changed over time due to evaporation and stuff, maybe that's having an effect. Brushing glazes have gum in them. Oh, okay. Good to know, Jeff. Good to know. Again, I got this glaze because it's non-toxic, and I knew that I would get it all over my hands. So even when painting them on, so okay. Okay. All right. I am making another batch of hand-shaped slides, and I will paint it on and see if that resolves the issue. All right. So many variables in such a simple task. Seemingly simple. Seemingly simple. By the way, folks, please do go to Jeff's channel. It's linked in the video description box. You definitely want to check out what he's doing with his palette guitars and his ceramics projects on his channel. Go there. Go see what this man is doing. He is a master craftsman. Go support his work. Sub to his channel. Click the notification bell. All right. We're gonna set this one aside. There was no crackling on this one, so I think the second coat here will stick. Here we got a crackling one. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, the second coat of glaze is not going to stick to this one, so we're going to set it aside. Another crackling one. Oh, yep. Glaze didn't stick to this one. I'm gonna set it aside. The crackle on this one isn't so big. So let's give this one a second coat. Okay, I'm optimistic about this one. Oh, let me get that bottom stuff. Again, folks, I'm finger painting because it's non-toxic. No lead in this glaze. Oh no! Another one chipped. Grr. 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 All right, I definitely gotta remove the glaze on all the ones that chipped. So we still got a lot more work to do, folks. We'll probably be ready to fire a few during our next session. But yeah, we still got a lot of work to do on the slide glazing front. All right. This one has a mild crackle on it. Oh, chippy chip. Okay, setting this one aside. Another mild crackle. Okay, this one isn't coming off, so it isn't chipping off. I'm gonna give it a second coat, see what happens. second coat. The crackling on this one isn't so mild. We got chippings, chippings, but let me see. Do we got more chipping? You know what? I'm gonna try to give this one a second coat. Let's see what happens. Oh, actually, I'm not too optimistic about this one. I think this one's gonna chip on me. Jeff says the gum Arabic most likely, or CMC gum, is diluted, but also holding moisture in the previous glazed slides. Gum being an organic material can have a shelf life and decomposition in that Florida climate. Yes. That makes a whole lot of sense, Jeff. All right. Yeah, I've had this glaze for quite a while. Kept it indoors. Only recently brought it outside to the workshop. But yeah, I think even indoors we could have decomposition issues with these glazes that have organic compounds in them. Gotta use them up faster, I guess. All right, I'm gonna leave this one aside because I suspect it's gonna do this on me. So I'm gonna set it aside with my crackling ones. This one has a mild crackle. Let's see if it'll come off when I rub it. Okay, this one passed the rubbing test. I'm gonna try to put a second coat onto this one. Well, got a pinhole up here. All right. More crackling. We'll try to give this one a second coat. Again, folks, those of you tuning in, watching the replay, I can do this because this is non-toxic, lead-free glaze. That's why I feel comfortable getting it all over my hands. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Jeff says, Gotta get you some recipes to make your own dipping glaze. What is your kiln's max temp? I don't know, Jeff. Let me see. I gotta look up the maximum temperature of the Fuseworks craft kiln. This kiln was designed for glass slumping and glazing small pieces. I gotta look that up for you. Alright. Wonder. No, I don't have my other device with me. I thought I did. Grr. I will look that up for you, Jeff. Let me see. I wonder if I can get onto Google while running the stream. Let me see. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. More crackling. Oh, I thought our troubleshooting was over. I was wrong. I was wrong. I thought after Victory Slide we had solved all of our slide mysteries, or our glazing mysteries, but I haven't. There's always, always more to learn, always. Alright. By the way, do go support my buddy Jeff's channel. It's linked in the video description box. Jeff is a master luthier and a master CBG builder and a master ceramicist. So support the work of a master craftsman. Sub to Jeff's channel. He's so generous with his knowledge, by the way. That is atypical, folks. Atypical of artists to be so generous with their knowledge. So thank you, Jeff. Okay, I'm gonna keep this one on the side pile because I think it is going to chip on me. Put it on the side pile. Again, some mild crackling on this one. Okay, let's try giving this one a second coat. All right. Alrighty, folks, my 5 p.m. alarm just went off, which means King Dolphin TV is going live in just a few minutes. So I'm gonna wrap things up here, but this is what's gonna happen the next time we meet. We're gonna fire up the slides that didn't chip, and we're gonna remove the glaze on the ones that did, so we have a clean palette to work with the next time we do some slide glazing. All right, Jeff, if you're still on the live, I'll be logging off because I need to redirect to my buddy King Dolphin TV. But we can be in communication through text message. So thank you so much for your help, Jeff. And folks, please do go support Jeffrey Richard Patterson. and go subscribe to his channel, Master Ceramicist, Master Luthier. Go check out his channel and support a Master Craftsman. And Jeff, as we're closing here, says, you are max 1,750 cone 5. Standard low fire is 1,888 cone 0.05. Okay. Yes. So again, I don't necessarily understand the cone system yet, Jeff. When I bought this kiln, I knew that it could deal with low fire clays, but I knew that the way that it heats up rapidly is something unusual for kilns to do. Because again, it was designed mostly for glass slumping and doing simple glazing projects. But we'll be in communication, Jeff. Folks, again, before I redirect to King Dolphin TV, please go to Jeff's channel, show him some love with a sub, watch his videos, learn some really cool things about making ceramic guitar slides and about making resonant acoustic guitars in the style of cigar box guitars with pallet wood. So please go to his channel and support his work. All right, folks, I'm gonna log off. Jeff says I'll do a bit of research. Thank you so much, Jeff. I really appreciate you helping me out with these projects. Really appreciate it. All right, folks, I'm gonna log off, redirect to King Dolphin TV. He has a special unboxing coming up, and I will see you all over at King Dolphin TV's live stream. Alrighty, folks, Chaito, and thank you so much, Jeff. We will be in communication, my friend.